Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to the 3-day launch your first profitable online business challenge, day two. Day two. So, if you attended day one, definitely I'm 100% sure that you gained a lot and you had your foundation properly structured to understand that running a business is not a joke, it is not a plaything, and it's serious business, and you need to have the right foundation. That right foundation has been denied you all this while. Mentors have pushed the narrative that it's very simple and you can just no, it is not. You have to learn some foundations, and without those foundations, you are bound to fail. That's why I was sent to create this program so that you have the truth, and with that truth, definitely you'll be set free. And now you're gonna be equipped with everything you need to actually run a profitable online business, even if you've tried and failed before. The promise remains that after this session, if you follow the roadmap, you'll be able to pull in at least $100 per month. That's around 170,000 naira every month. That is the least if you're following all the instructions possible. As a matter of fact, you can go beyond that, probably even hit seven figures with the things you're going to be learning. So now, let us dive right into day two without wasting any time. Right, so we're going to be doing practicals today. You need to follow along, and I'll try my best to put it to be done in under 1 hour. Do you understand? So great. So in session one, I talked about the law, the mathematically proven law of money, and is the only law that governs money making offline and online, and works 100% of the time, just like gravity. It never fails, and I said that it's the law of affection, that the more lives you affect in an entity you control, in scale and or magnitude, the richer you become. It was rephrased in that side, but it's the same thing. So the more lives you affect in an entity you control, in scale and or magnitude, the richer you will become. Keywords: more lives you affect. Keyword: entity you control. In scale and or magnitude, the richer you will become. In other words, if you want to make millions, you need to impact millions. In other words, if you solve the problems of millions, you will make millions. The law of affection is not a theory, it is based on solid mathematical numbers. Think of all the biggest brands, people, everybody you know, that's how they all got rich, no exceptions. Elon Musk, Amazon, that's Jeff Bezos, Dangote, Google, Sergey Brin, Grant Cardone, Alex Ramosi. Every single person who is wealthy on this planet affected the lives of people in scale and magnitude. That is how they got rich. So I want you to kill the narrative that you can just click a few buttons or just do a few things and money will come. No, it doesn't work like that. Value must be exchanged. Value must be exchanged. I already explained the nature of money. That money is a means of exchange, and the only way to get it is to exchange something for it. Now we're going to dive deeper. So now I'm going to reveal my RMPP framework to you today, and this is something you can use to help you hit to first of all help you avoid all the potholes that most beginners fall into, and then it will give you a clear path of how you're going to achieve the goal of at least 170,000 naira. Now I need to clear this myth in case I didn't say it in session one. You must know that if you're running a business is all about spending money to make money. There's no such thing as you spend nothing and then you make, yeah, you be stuck at a very low level for a long time. You must understand that every business has risk. I told you there are low risk businesses and high risk businesses. If you are doing certain kinds of businesses, the money you're spending is not at risk of loss, but you may feel that okay, it's risk because you're putting forward maybe your hard earned money, money that you saved up. But guess what? That money is designed to make you more money, so it should not be seen as risk. If you learn the right way to do these things, guess what? You reduce the likelihood of you losing to almost zero. Can't remember the last time I spent money on a campaign and didn't at least make that money back. The worst thing that can happen is that you make the money back if you follow all the metrics that or all the checklists that you're getting from me. The worst thing that will happen is that you get the money back. Then, if that's the worst thing that will happen, what's the upside? It means that you could do two times, three times, four times, five times, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 times. the amount of money you spend in your business. It's a business, for crying out loud. Whether it's service based, whether it's product based, it doesn't matter. You have to learn to spend on your business. And if you want to increase how much you're going to be making, you will intentionally just increase how much you're spending on the business. If, for example, you spent 10,000 naira and you made 30,000 naira, if you want to make more this month, you spend 20,000, probably you make 60,000 naira. And the more you increase how much you're spending on that business, that's how much your profits or your revenue will be increasing as well. The moment you understand this, you break a mental barrier that keeps you stuck for a lifetime. But remember, knowledge is important. You cannot just, I've said this to my students a lot. You can't think of something you've not read, seen, or heard. If you've never heard something, read something, or seen something, you cannot think about it. You're not that smart. Your brain has to take in information or knowledge before it can begin to think about certain things. So knowledge is always the first thing. So let's proceed. So now I want to show you some RMPP results from 2023. Yes. So we're in 2025 now, but these things have been working from time immemorial. And I decided to show you the result first so you know that I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. These are real results from 2023 applying this exact framework. Now, if I was doing this in 2023, how much do you think I could be doing now in 2025 since I've heavily improved and heavily taken this thing a lot higher? Right? Do you understand? So in June 2023, I think that was the first month. I literally have like a record of how much they were paying me my job. It was less than 50,000 naira. I literally have the records. But then I was now trying to, okay, this money is not enough at all. I need to elevate something. So I was already learning a lot of stuff. At the time, that was when AI came. And that was when I began to learn about AI, right? So the first amount of money I made using artificial intelligence was in June 2023, right? 2023, and I did how much? 53,000 naira. And I told you guys that it was a service-based business. I was actually helping people pass. Listen, I was helping people pass an academic research exam using AI. And if I get them the accounts passed, they can now use AI to get academic jobs done, and then they get paid in dollars. I was doing the thing myself, right? But I was also helping people pass using AI, right? That was the first service-based business. Do you understand? So I learned it well enough until I created a product out of it. So June, July, August, that's literally 2 months later. 2 months later, I had created a product out of the skill that I had. So I knew about AI very well. Listen, I knew about AI very well. I knew how to monetize AI. And then I created a product out of it. Do you understand? So by August, I had created a product out of the skill or the service that I was offering. I was literally teaching how to use AI, right, to do certain things and to make money with it. And then I put a price on the product. Listen, I put a price on the product, spent around 16,000 naira on ads, and I was able to make 182,000 naira in August. You can see the screenshot there. Fast forward to December, October, September, October, November, December. 4 months later, I was already hitting 700,000 naira because now I had learned the business at a much deeper level. I had gained more reputation. I had increased the price of my product. So you can see, if you check this August here, you can literally see transfers of 3,000, 2,000, right? That was the price at the time. Because I was just, okay, wait, let me show you something. Look here. Look at June. I was charging 500 naira, 500 naira, 1,000 naira, right? Can you see something? It's crazy. 1,000 naira, right? But then August, I was charging 2,700. 2,000, 3,000. But now look at December, I was charging 5,000. So the price of what I was selling had increased because my value had increased, my knowledge of that thing had increased. But see the months it took. It was not just something you could just jump into doing once. But now that I'm trying to teach you from the end, so I can actually condense all this time for you into 1 month if you're willing to listen. So now I'm selling this thing at a much greater level and I'm spending more. I think around this December, I was spending around 65,000 naira on ads. And seriously, I made 743,000 naira from spending, I think, 65,000 on ads. That was crazy. Mind blowing. It was crazy. So fast forward to 2024, I literally took up my ad spend to, I think, around 100,000 naira plus. And that was when I hit 7 figures for the first time with this business, because I do other things with this particular MVP framework. That was the first time I hit 7 figures with this particular one. Do you understand? Okay, so now RMPP stands for certain things. The R in RMPP stands for research. R stands for research. So before I proceed, I just want to remind you that at each point, let's say during June I made 53,000. I didn't spend anything on ads because that was just the beginning. I just learned the skill of internet service. That's the only point where you don't need to spend much. But guess what? You spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of attention. Here, you're spending not as much time, but you spend your money, you spend your energy, right? So as you put in more money, you start to shift your time out of it a little bit. Do you understand? So that's how it is. So moving on, R stands for research, and research can mean a lot of things, right? You need to have knowledge, you need to study, you must be well versed in the industry you want to get involved in. I don't know how you think that you can possibly sell a product in copywriting when you do not know what copywriting is. I also want to tell you that there's no easy money anywhere. This research has a much deeper part to it, and I'll get to that shortly. But you need to understand something. You need to really know what it is that you want to sell. Yes, you need to know it very well. People don't push this narrative well enough. Tell you that, okay, you don't need to. I'm telling you, if especially in this AI age, you need to know what you want to sell very well, in and out. Why? Because if all you know is something that someone can search for on ChatGPT, then you're doomed. Why do they need you then? You must have a skill level that's at least par or better than ChatGPT to an extent. Yes. So the first question is, are you going to be selling a service, a product, or both? So if you're selling a physical product, no problem. But if you want to sell a digital product, here's my advice. You need to learn a skill very well first. And I've already outlined some skills that are must learns if you want to make money online. You want to if you want to be sure that you make money in this life online. Some skills must be learned. Check anybody making money online, they know these things. If they don't know it, they are paying people who know these things, because without it, you cannot actually succeed. So let's say someone who is a very good grant writer, he knows how to write grants, and now he has written grants for lots of people and made a lot of money, right? Now he wants to teach, he wants to create a product out of it and sell it. If he does not know copywriting, if he does not know funnel creation, guess what? He has to contact copywriters. He has to contact people who are good at sales to do those parts for him. Do you understand? So he's bringing his expertise, and those who have his expertise of selling will have to bring theirs. But if he knows it for himself, he can actually run everything by himself. Do you understand? If he knows how to run ads, if he knows how to do all these things, he can do it by himself. But if he doesn't, without these people, he will not succeed. It's just not possible. You cannot sell without knowing how to sell. Do you understand? Right? So if it's graphic design you want to do, you must learn it very well. Chase knowledge. I've said it before. In all that getting, get understanding. If you check the Passion Translation, basically said, sell all you have to get knowledge. You have to get knowledge first. It is by far the highest ROI investment. Listen, knowledge, self-improvement is by far the highest return on investment, ROI investment you can ever do. Do you understand? Because probably you spent 100,000 to learn this skill. It can make you 100 million. Yes. It is, you really can't fathom how much you can make from that particular skill that you're paying to learn. So if you have to pay, pay. If you want to start for free, start from YouTube, study so much, and then look for a paid program. Do you understand? So if you don't plan to sell a digital product, here's my advice. Learn a skill very well, offer it as a service, make some money, then create a product out of it. You must make sure that whatever you want to sell is working, because there's something called social proof, testimonials. Whatever you want to sell must be working. You cannot just sell something just because you feel like you want to sell. I've told you before, the first step is problem. Is there a problem you're trying to solve? Yes. Does this solve the problem? Yes. Then you have a product you can sell. Another method is, what's the biggest problem in your life? Are you struggling with relationships? Find the solutions. Or are you struggling with communication? You don't know how to talk to people, or probably you can't talk to girls. Find the solution, learn it very well. Is it working? Yes. Test it to one or two other people. Did it work for them too? Now you have a product you can sell. Very simple. Are you a writer? You're having writer's block every time. Find the solution to writer's block. Test it to other people if it works. You have a product you can sell. Do you understand? That's if you're not going for the physical product route. I'm not into physical product. I'm in digital product space. That's my sphere of expertise. So I can tell you the way it goes. Do you understand? So you're a graphic designer. You can do great graphics, but you're not having clients. Find the solution to getting clients. Probably even learn how to get foreign clients. Now you have something. You found a solution. Is it working for you? Yes. You've gotten a couple foreign clients. They paid you thousands of dollars. You're making a lot of money. Very nice. Now test that same. See, document the process. Test that same thing with a couple people. Did it work for them? Yes. Now you have a product you can sell. Do you understand? You cannot jump from step 1 to step 5. You have to follow it. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and then boom. Do you understand? So now you have to test the solution with other similar problems, with others who have the similar problems. Then you have a product you can sell to others like you. Because if you have that problem, I can assure you others have that problem too. Right? Awesome. So now M stands for market. I've explained I mentioned it in session 1, but I have to expand on it now. So the 3 biggest industries, which are health, wealth, relationships. If your product helps improve people's health or put more money in their pocket or helps them get better relationships, it will always sell. It will always, 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 always sell. You cannot beat these 3 things. People always want to be in good health. They say health is wealth. People always want to be in good health. People always want to have money. They always want to have more and more. People always want to have good relationships. So if anything you're selling is in these 3 phases, these 3 spaces, it will always sell. Do you understand? I will never sell anything on self-actualization or because those things are the height of the pyramid. Those things are not as important as these 3. If you have products that keep that are like timeless in these 3 spaces, you will sell to the end of time. I'm telling you. So write it down in your head. Health, wealth, relationships. Never forget it. Moving on. So now we're going to go into the product itself. So now this is where some people will be left out. So here's the thing. If you do not have a skill already that you don't know very well, your first step is to go and find a skill. Okay, I think I need to cover that first. Let me tell you some skills you can learn. I've said it already before. Sales, copywriting, advertising, Facebook advertising, funnel building. See, me as a marketer, I know all of these things combined. You can decide to learn everything together, but take it one at a time. But guess what? In session 3, I'll give you a clear path where you can learn all of these things with me. So no problem. If you don't know any of those things yet, don't fret, don't stress yourself. I'll teach you how to do that. I'll give you a way to learn it from me in session 3. So just stick with me. So if, for example, you already have a skill that you have, there's already something that you know how to do very well, and you've been doing it, it works, you have results, then it's time to create a product out of it, because I'm telling you, the service-based side is limited. You cannot scale that except you want to employ more hands, and that's expensive. I mean, you can't work more than 24 hours in a day. So now we're going to talk about the product. You can actually create products from scratch using AI, even if you've never done it before. I've done it over and over and over and over and over again. To the extent that now it's now second nature. I just do it myself. Do you understand? Sometimes I use AI, sometimes I do myself, because both of them works. So now the first thing is the product research. Product research. Product research. So let's use, for example, you're a high ticket closer, for example, meaning that you help businesses, or you know how to sell stuff. You help businesses close more deals. Like you're what we call a convincer. Let's say I sell cars, and I sell cars for like 20 million naira, and I'm finding it hard to sell to people. You, as a high ticket closer, you come in and help me talk to the customer for them to buy, and you know how to do it very well, right? So if that's what you know how to do, for example, even if it's graphic design, right? So the first step every time is product research. Product research. You need to know your target audience. You need to know your products. You need to know your target audience, right? Very well, integrally. There are much more metrics, but these are the 4 biggest ones. Number 1 is, what's the biggest problem people face in that industry? What's the biggest problem people face in the graphic design industry? What's the biggest problem people face in the sales industry? What's the biggest problem people face in the video editing industry? What's the biggest problem? If you're in the Japa space, what's the biggest problem people face in the Japa space? And all of these things can be done with ChatGPT. ChatGPT now has this research feature. Let me even show you. So I don't like, let me show you. So let's go to ChatGPT for a second. And even DeepSeek works too, though. Let me use this one. Great. So ChatGPT has this research feature. You can literally, okay, I think I'm hitting a limit, for example. You can literally ask it to do something. You can literally say, I need you to run a research. So for example, if you've never used ChatGPT before, this is chatgpt.com. Very simple. I have like the paid plan, but you can use the free plan and it works, right? I need to run a research on the video editing industry under these metrics. Okay, so the first one is what's the biggest problem they face in the industry? What's their biggest fear? What's their biggest desire? And what makes them happy? Right? So you need to know your industry in and out. You need to know everything. So under these four metrics, both from the video editor and the clients. So maybe you end up creating a product for video editors. Maybe you end up creating a product for clients. Right? So let's see. ChatGPT goes to work and begins to do research for you. There are very good ways to run research, but this is, if it's not working, let me just copy this. Let me refresh it for a second. Okay, great. So that is that. Okay, it's loading up. Please don't waste my time. My network is strong. Why is it misbehaving? Okay, if it's not moving, let me use see this. Let me use my ChatGPT for a second. Now this is the free one. Oh God, on dedication. When last hour you use DeepSeek. So if ChatGPT is misbehaving, let me just do it. So I'm still not loaded. No voila. There. Okay, great. So the free version has loaded. Let me send it here. Let's see if it works. Okay, now it's searching the web. You can see, right? So it's literally giving you everything. The video editing industry serves the diverse range of stakeholders, blah, 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 blah. Professional video editors, their biggest problem is high initial investment required to, so you see all of these things, clients, you see everything, literally brings out everything, everything, right? Biggest fear, the primary concern in investing in video content that fails to engage the target. Yes, awesome. So now that you know the biggest problems that they have, your job now is to find solutions to those problems. So I told you the first step of everything is problem, 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 right? Since you're already skilled in that industry, you know what to look for, right? Oh my God, I know what to look for. So now that you know the biggest problems, the biggest fears, the biggest desires, what makes them happy, next step is to compile the entire research in a Google Doc or Word document. Basically, just copy it from ChatGPT or copy from DeepSeek, copy from any AI you're using, and put it into a document. Do you understand? I'm teaching you to sell literally here. So follow me. But before I continue, something entered my mind. I believe that I've not told you what copywriting is. I think I've already explained it. Now, copywriting is basically a salesman in print. So let me explain something. So if, for example, you want to buy something online, they take you to your website and you're reading like everything you're reading on that page was written by a copywriter. That thing you're reading is copy. It is designed to convince you to buy something. Yes. So every written text, even your videos, the ones that convince you to click a link to say, okay, follow this link to join my free class. Every of those things, all those words, they're all copy written by copywriters. It's basically the ability to write persuasively to get people to take an action. It's not just to sell them to exchange money with you, but even to get them to click on a link. Everything is copywriting. So it is integral. Without copywriting, your business cannot survive. You think that you use it, but you use crude methods, and that's why you're not making sales. You need to learn it properly. If you're not going to learn it, you're going to have to pay someone. I've said it. So back to the research. So if you've compiled everything that you've gotten from your research in a Google Doc or a Word document, you need to now pick two biggest problems. You pick the two biggest problems from that research, and the product that you'll be selling will solve the two biggest problems. But the smaller problems, you will create what we call a HVCO. Now, listen very closely. You only hear things like this in paid programs, but listen very closely. I've promised you, and I'm going to deliver. Right? So let's go back to that research, for example. Okay, let's say from that problem, they struggle to find video editors who can deliver high quality work within specified timelines and budgets. There's also a challenge of ensuring that the final product aligns with their brand vision and objectives. Okay. Okay. Let's see. This is problems for the clients. Now, problems for the video editors. Okay. I want to tell ChatGPT to start like 10. List out 10 biggest So I want to ask ChatGPT to give me 10 problems. So okay, not this one. So just list them out for me. 10 biggest problems they both face. So you need to embrace the use of AI. Like you don't need to stress yourself anymore. AI can actually do everything. Research everything. Just research from here. List out 10 biggest problems they both face. Okay, great. So let's see what it lists out. Okay, here are the 10 biggest problems faced by both video editors and their clients. So, high software and hardware cost, tight deadlines and work pressure, client revisions and scope creep, inconsistent workflow, low pay and price competition, yes, keeping up with technology, finding clients and building a reputation, copywriting and licensing issues, creative burnout, storage and file management. Awesome. For the clients, finding skilled editors, budget limitation, missed deadlines, miscommunication, blah, 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 blah. Let's say you were actually creating solutions for the video editors because you're a video editor yourself. Awesome. And probably you want to create something. Okay, let's say you can decide to say you can create something that will solve number one, number two, number 5. So based on the fact that you are a video editor, you know which of these things is most important to you. So let's say if number 1 to 5 were the most important things and 6 to 10 were also important but not as important as 1 to 5, you would literally create a free product that solves 6 to 10. Listen, the goal here, you see, one reason why I prefer digital products to physical products is that we have the ability to create a KLT factor. Now, what is that KLT factor? The KLT factor is know, like, trust. You can see I wrote it here. Know, like, trust. Because for people to buy from you, they need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. With physical products, it's only based on need. If you don't need the product, most times they'll not buy it, right? But here, you can literally meet, it's something called the larger market formula. There are only 3% of people in the market right now that are ready to buy it right now. The next 17%, they are like still thinking about it. Then there's like a big percentage. Let me show you that triangle. I don't like to just talk. Come here. Larger market formula. Okay, look at it. So we have just let's see, load up. Just 3% of people, look at it here, who are ready to buy like right now. That both you and your competitors, they are all struggling for this buying now right now. So if you're trying to like sell directly without using that HVCO, you're only selling to 3% of your market. The next one below that is 17% people. 17% of people, they are in information gathering mode. They are still checking. Should I buy? Should I not buy? Right? The next percentage of people is 20% of people. They are problem. They know they have this problem, but they've not really seen the solution, so they are not really ready to buy now. And then 60%, they are not problem aware at all. They don't know they have the problem. So now, if you try to just sell directly, like you just run an ad, buy from me, you're only going to hit 3% and a small fraction of 17% of people. But if you create a HVCO, you touch all of them and you have a much larger base to sell to. Now, here's the thing. When you catch the majority of all these people, guess what happens? The fact that you give them something of much value free of charge, they now know you, they not like you, they not trust you, that you know that thing. So by the time you upsell them on a bigger on much deeper problems, they are more likely to purchase from you than if you try to just sell to them directly. Do you understand? This is something you will learn from paid programs, but I'm teaching you here for free, so never forget it. So you've seen the 10 biggest problems. Solve 5 for free. Solve 5 for free. Then the other 5, you put a price on it. It's very simple stuff. So the idea is you provide value. So put yourself in their shoes. Genuinely care about their problems. They genuinely try or want to solve their problems for free. Do you understand? So now, this HVCO is called a high value content offer. It is the irresistible magnet we use to attract everyone interested in that space, in that industry. Do you understand? It's your tool to make them know you, like you, and trust you, and then finally buy from you. Now, step 3 is to create the HVCO and the product. Remember, you are already a video editor. That is the point. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So if you don't have the skill down, you should not even be attempting it. Just learn it now. I told you that in session 3, I'll tell you what to do. Right? You are already a video editor. You already know what your industry wants. You're already good. You're already a graphic designer. You know what your industry wants. You're already good. So now you know what to create because you've done the research. So you do the research. You find the 5 things you want to solve it to the best of your ability. Then create your product with the 5 other problems. And the flow is very simple. You may decide to give it as a course. You may decide to give it as a PDF. However you want to give it, just give it to them free of charge. Then you upsell them on your product. For example, if you've been able to solve these 5 problems, you may have these other 5 problems, and then here's how to solve them. Well, there's the price to it. Blah 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 blah. Guess what? You're more likely to buy from you than if you try to sell to them directly. Now, the next step is to choose your format. You can decide to record your products in a video format as a course or a tutorial, right? You can decide to write it as an ebook and as a PDF and sell it. And give it to them for free. Whether ebook or video, AI can help you write the script of the video or the manuscript for your ebook. Just like give it all the ideas you want. Let me give you an example. It should be like, I'm just talking. Yes. So now here's what I want to do. For the problems of the video editors, I'm gonna create a product solving number 1 to 5 paid. But I need you to create an ebook solving number 6 to 10 in detail. Now, you may want to start from here to give you an idea of what should be in the book if you're using book. If you're recording a course, much better, because now you'll be able to infuse yourself. So literally, ChatGPT is going to write this ebook for you. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding at all. It will give you an outline, and then you can prompt it to write the full thing eventually. Do you understand? You can see it's already writing the chapters out of the book. So if that's what you want to do, AI can literally help you do it from start to finish. Do you understand? But you need to know the skill first. The title of the book is Mastering Video Editing Challenge, a guide to staying competitive and creative, whatever. You can tweak all that later once you understand sales and all of that. Copyright and licensing issues, you can see all of that. So there's literally a solution to all of these things, and ChatGPT knows all of these things. It's crazy. So back to our stuff. So now, whether you want to put it in an ebook or you want to record a video for it, AI can actually help you to every extent. Now, the next thing is to set your price. Set your price. Look at the industry average. What are they charging? Are they charging 10,000 naira for stuff like that? Are they charging 15? If you're just starting, you don't want to inflate your price too early, right? You don't want to inflate your price too early. You increase your price with the value that you have, right? So I'm going to teach you some greater things in session 3, but for now, just set a good price that's actually very profitable for you, right? But sometimes, let me teach you this one thing. Higher price is associated with higher value. Higher price is associated with higher value. So if you price something at 150,000 naira, they are going to see it as highly valuable as opposed to something of 15,000 naira. Do you understand? So higher price is associated with higher value. So you want to set a price that's okay, that gives them a gasp. Yes, but make sure that you deliver on the value depending on the price that you put. Do you understand? Great. Now, the next step in the RMPP is to promote. You need to promote. Now, this is where you fall into the dilemma again. So if you don't know copywriting, if you don't know sales, if you don't know advertising, you will have to pay people to get this done for you, right? So if, for example, you know how to, since you're a video editor, maybe you know how to do graphic design as well. You can design a flyer for yourself, or probably create a video ad for yourself. Since you're a video editor, you can do that, right? But if you can't, you can decide to use Canva to create a design for free. I don't want to go into the email side of things. That's a little bit advanced. You can literally use a simple WhatsApp group. A simple WhatsApp group to sell whatever you want to sell, right? Now, you're going to need to write copy. You're going to need to write copy that you're going to use to advertise. Sure you know that. You need to write copy. Copy is basically what you use to convince them to join this free program where you literally give them the five solutions for free. Do you understand? Okay, so you need to find suitable WhatsApp influencers, or you'd have to learn. You see, it comes back again. Facebook advertising. So is that you pay someone to do it for you, or you'd have to learn it yourself. But if you want to use WhatsApp influencers, here is how to pick the ones to use. So don't just find any TV and say you want to run ads. That's the reason why most of you blew your money, lost a lot of money, and said that it's scam or it doesn't work, because you do not know how to pick who to use. Now, if you want to pick people, do not pick TVs. People don't go to TVs to find opportunities. They go to TVs to catch crews. It's not the place to advertise. Seriously speaking, I don't use TVs. You need to find WhatsApp influencers who sell themselves, who have things that they've sold to their cost to their viewers over and over. So their viewer base are buyers, people who are interested in opportunities. That's the people you want to use for your advertising. So you want to pick people who constantly have new people coming to their DMs. They constantly improve their customer base, increase it. They run ads. They do this, they do that. So people, and let's say you want to look for people like you, but who have done it over and over, and then they have a large customer base. Now, do not advertise to someone who sells exactly what you sell, because then there's going to be competition. Do you understand? So I've used a couple people in the last 3 years and last 2 years, and they've given significant results, and they always increase in the amount of people they have in their contact list. So Chimex is one of them, and his number is on the screen. Mike Accolade, number on the screen. Iniski, number on the screen. Oruka Otuene, number on the screen. Remember, this is only a starting point. The moment after you've done ads with these guys, the next thing you want to learn is Facebook advertising, because I personally, I don't use WhatsApp influencers anymore because I've exhausted all of them. Do you understand? So now I stick with Facebook advertising, but you can start here and then move on to Facebook later. Do you understand? So I've told you how to pick. Don't just pick anyone. Make sure you check, do they sell to their customers? Do they have a constant flow of new leads? Elif Child is also another good one, but he does not always take ads. That's why his number is not here. So now remember, I'm not affiliated with any of these influencers. I've only used them in the past and they gave me good results. So they are not paying me to promote them. I'm only sharing my recommendations free of charge. Now, next on that promote, you need to run your ad for the HVC, which is the high value content offer. The solution to the first 5 problems, which are not as deep as the next 5, but at least they're a problem and is a thorn in the flesh of your video editors, right? So as I said, you can literally use AI to write a short. Let me even show you how to do that. So okay, great. Let's see. Okay, it's done writing the manuscript for the book. You can go and expand on it and like create a masterpiece out of it, and you can even use it to use as a script for your video that you're going to create if you're going to do like a tutorial or a mini course, whatever. So now I want to use AI to write the copy for the ad. So now listen very close to what I'm about to teach you. You've researched their deepest problems. See the kind of prompts I'm using. People know me as an AI expert and a consultant, so don't be shocked. Talking with AI is not something that should be cumbersome or hard. It's very simple. As if you're talking to someone, to a friend who knows everything. Very simple. So now you've researched their deepest problems, pains, and desires. I'm gonna need you to be a grandmaster copywriter. Grandmaster copywriter. Grandmaster copywriter. In the style, you can actually use people's style in the style of, let's speak for example, Gary Halbert, who is a legendary copywriter. Halbert writes a short WhatsApp copy using the AIDA framework for this ebook. Infuse the pains, desires, and problems. This is just like a simple one. I have like more advanced ones that I'll teach you in after session 3. So let's see what you write. So attention video editors struggling to stay ahead in this fast-changing industry. AI tools, fierce competition, and endless client demands make you feel stuck. Your biggest nightmares are real. AI is replacing editors faster than ever. Clients ghost you after draining your creativity. You waste hours battling disorganized files and outdated software. But what if you could flip the script and become the editor that clients chase after? Introducing Mastering Video Editing Challenges, the no BS guide to thriving in 2024. Inside, you learn how to stay ahead of AI and use it to your advantage. The secret to finding high-paying clients who respect your craft, how to stop burnout and unlock endless creativity, the ultimate file management system so you never lose products again. Limited time offer. Grab your copy now for it's actually free of charge. So grab your copy now absolutely free of charge. Drop a blah 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 in my DM and I'll send it to you instantly. That's if you're using Instagram. So if you're using WhatsApp, you'll be like, click this link to join the group now or whatever. So basically you can see I literally just used AI to write this copy, and if this is seen by video editors having this problem, guess what, it will convert because they have the problem. They're going to see it as, okay, this is actually talking to my pain points, and that is exactly what I need right now. So I'm going to click on the link. So you're going to have people who were problem away but we're not like ready to buy. It's like, oh nice, this is like something I'm looking for, and they will join your group, right? So you will give them this for free and it actually give them value. Or if you're going to like use the video, the mini course or the tutorial method, you'll be like, okay, very nice, I got value from this. So if you now decide to upsell them on your product, they are more likely to buy from you than not. So now a good conversion point, let me tell you this one now, a good conversion point is 10%. 10% is absolutely awesome. 5% is good, 10% is awesome. Let me explain what that means. It means that if you generated 100 leads, 100 interested people who wanted the free stuff, and then you try to upsell them, if 10 people pay, you've done it wonderfully well. If 10 people pay, you've done wonderfully well. If 8 pay, you've tried. If 5 pay, you tried. Let me explain. If you generated 100 leads, let's say you spent 200 naira per lead using Facebook ads, for example, meaning 100 leads, you spent 20,000 naira. Abi? Great. And your product is priced at 10,000 naira, for example. If 10 people pay for that product, you've made how much? 100,000 naira from the 20,000 naira you spent. That's times 5 your money. If 5 people pay, you've made 50,000 naira and you spent 20,000 naira. That's 2.5 times your money. Abi? Yeah, thereabouts. Thereabouts, right? You're still in profit. Do you understand? So 5%, anything from 5% to 10% is awesome. Anything beyond 10% is superb. Do you understand? So if you get 1,000 leads, you get 100 people to pay you, wonderful. 200 leads, 20 people pay you, wonderful. Do you understand? So don't try to get everybody. Everybody will never buy from you. Everybody will never buy from you. 10% is perfect. 5% is the sweet spot. From 5% to 10%, you're already making money. So if, for example, you spend 20,000 naira, you made 50,000 naira back, 30,000 naira profit. Next one, you can spend 30,000 naira, and guess how much you'd make? Around 60 to 70,000 naira. Just like that, you can begin to scale it up. Before you know, you're spending 100,000 naira and you're making probably 300,000 naira. Is that not good money? That is good money. For those who are very good, who master this, doing like 10% conversion, maybe they're spending 10,000 naira and they're making 100,000 naira. Amazing stuff. But let me tell you, there are people who spend 5,000, sorry, there are people who spend 50,000 naira and make 300, 600. People do it. I've done it myself. So I'm telling you that if you learn this, the sky is your limit. So now step 5 is to teach or give your HVCO free of charge, and step 6 is to offer your product at the end of our period. Just make sure you give as much value as possible. And then step 7 is to collect your money. Make sure you know how to collect your money. So if you are uploading whatever you want to upload, give to them to Drive, upload it to Drive. Once they pay, give them their product, collect your money. If you're using Seller, upload to Seller. Once they pay automatically, Seller will pass it on to them. So I believe you've understood the RMPP framework. This first R is research. Next one is market. Understand your market. Whatever you're teaching, does it improve the lives of someone? For this video editing program, for example, what does it do? It's in the wealth industry. It helps them make more money. Therefore, it will sell. Next P is product. You do all your product research. You compile the product, you create HVCO and create the product, and then you choose your format, right? And then they promote, create a design on Canva, create a WhatsApp group, do all of these things that I've told you, and guess what? It will always end in money. So now I'm going to show you the RMP frame, the results again. Doing this exact same thing I just taught you with a service related to AI. I first made 50,000 naira as a service. I learned it so well, I created a product out of it. Then I began to hit 6 figures. And December that same year, I was already almost hitting 7 figures. Next year, I'd hit 7 figures plus. Do you understand? So it is very possible, and I showed you all of this for free. It works. It works. But the first step, if you don't have a skill that you've learned properly, is to learn a skill. So in session 3, I'll give you a success plan. I'll give you a roadmap that you'd follow. I'll tell you what skills to learn, what skills not to learn, and then you know exactly your path. That in the next 6 months, probably you'll be doing multiple seven figures yourself if you follow the path that I'm going to teach you or show you. So thank you for attending session 2. I hope you've gotten value from this. I hope you understand how this thing works, that it's actually a money breathing machine. And every single person you know who is killing in this industry has done something like this. John Obidi, Russell Brunson, they all started with this exact same path. They learned a skill first, they mastered the skill, then eventually they created a product out of that skill and then scaled it to the moons. Do you understand? So thanks for watching, and I hope you've gotten value from this. See you in session 3. Please don't miss session 3 for anything. Session 3 is going to be hyper packed. I'm going to give you like a success plan you should follow, and if you follow it, your result definitely will be undeniable. Thanks for watching. See you in session 3. God bless you.